Did you read these show notes?
A little bit, as usual.
I'm putting my phone in D&D.
Getting serious.
There we go. And I'm gonna put this one in D&D. There. Okay. Done. All right. And I got to go to my camera gear. Perfect. Let's see. What's on this list here? Mexico Grand Prix. Oh my gosh, Daniel.
Did that happen?
Did you watch the F1 Mexico Grand Prix?
Well, since I just asked if that happened, I think you can guess the answer to that.
Which, as we're recording this podcast, that's probably it's probably the Brazilian Grand Prix this weekend or something. I don't even know when this comes out.
Yeah.
I was so excited about the first corner of that race.
Really?
Let me tell you.
How come? What's the reason?
It's the longest run up to the first corner all season. And so they get up to 185 miles an hour before the first corner.
Oh, wow.
And oh boy, I can't remember why I put this on there, but the race was really, really wild. There was a lot of people driving off into the grass. There's a lot of swearing on the radio. It was wild.
Really?
And now Lando is leading the championship.
I'm guessing he won then.
He did win by 30 seconds.
Was he favored to win?
I don't think anyone knew who was going to win.
Okay. Anything can happen in Mexico?
Anything can happen in Mexico. That's great. I always love that race.
Nice.
Real good race. There was an actual reason I put this on here. I don't remember what it was.
Well, you managed to talk about it anyway, as you do with F1.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder if there was a camera gear angle.
Unlikely.
Oh, well.
The only camera gear angle I can think of is that didn't Apple just buy F1?
Yes.
I know you're excited.
Apple bought the entire F1.
Yep.
All of it. The whole thing. They do have enough cash that they could have bought the entire sport.
Which is crazy.
It's absurd.
They bought streaming rights for 5 years or something?
Yeah, it's 3 or 5 years of exclusive streaming rights in the United States.
Pretty crazy.
I've been in and out on Apple TV Plus? No, they dropped the Plus.
They did drop the Plus, but you mean the streaming service.
The streaming Apple TV service. I'll have it for a while, watch some of the shows, not have it. Well, it sounds like I'm just going to have it now.
Yeah, you just need it to watch F1.
So I can watch F1.
How does that compare to the cost of watching F1 now?
If you buy there's different versions. You can have the only watch live, which is kind of terrible because the races are at weird times of the day.
Yeah.
I have the whatever premium version of the subscription. It costs $80 a year.
Okay.
And you can watch every race. Do you whenever you can watch all the replays? And when I say every race, I could go back and I kind of think I want to over this winter. I go back and watch the 2021 F1 season.
Interesting.
Whenever it was the rise of Verstappen and him and Hamilton, the whole thing.
Relive the days from before you were into F1.
Yeah, I just go back and watch 2008.
I wonder if Apple's probably not going to have that.
I mean, I don't think that I think that they're still maintaining all of the same functionality, but it's not clear if you get the app when you pay for Apple TV, if you also then just have the F1 app.
Yeah.
Or not. The other thing is the F1 TV crew, you get used to the commentators and
sure.
They do a decent job.
Sure.
But that broadcast is not the same as the Sky TV broadcast. Is not the same as the ESPN broadcast. Well, and I think ESPN may just rebroadcast F1 TV. I'm not sure.
I think when Apple took over, they broadcast some Major League Baseball games and they do MLS in the US and stuff. And I guess the question would be, do those things have, whose broadcasters do they use? Does Apple hire their own or do they use one of the existing ones? I would think they would have their own.
That's my biggest concern is that I like the F1 TV broadcast. That's what I'm used to. And I think they do a good job. And I've heard a lot of British bias complaints with the Sky TV stuff. And I would be really concerned that Apple's going to come in with their own broadcast situation and do their own coverage.
Could be terrible.
I don't want it. I just want, come on.
What if they make it, this is a good question for you, I think. What if they make it to where it's way better watching the races if you have an Apple Vision Pro?
I mean, if they don't, they're not leveraging their system. I'd be really disappointed.
I mean,
I'm not gonna buy a Vision Pro, Daniel. I have no desire to have a Vision Pro, even if it was the perfect F1 conduit. No.
We may have to revisit this question in about a year.
It's not gonna change. there's no, like, I don't know. There's nothing appeals to me about the Vision Pro.
Even if it had like immersive F1, like you're in the car experience.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know.
No, thank you.
But I mean, you're such a big iPad guy. Like, why not move on to Vision Pro?
Is that your attempt at doing a segue in the pre-show? Is that a pre-show segue?
You like that?
No, it's terrible. I hated it. Daniel, I wanted to point out that I'm tall. Some might say because I'm tall that I'm like a big person. Also, I'm big because I'm important, like a big guy. He's a big, important guy.
I don't know about all that.
And then also, my iPad's big, and I really like it, and so like I use it a lot. So you will not say I'm a big iPad guy, as in like really into it. And so it's very feasible that like, how what is it? What's the animal?
Buffalo.
Yeah, buffalo. I'm a big iPad guy.
Uh-huh.
I think you could do 4. I'm a big iPad guy.
If you say so.
Mm-hmm. Big iPad guy.
How long have you been thinking about that? Welcome back to the Camera Gear Podcast. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Lucas.
And we're here today to talk about the gear, software, and techniques we use to shoot photos and video. Hey everyone, Future Daniel here. We hit a couple of small scheduling issues with some trips we have coming up, and so there's not going to be an episode of this podcast next week. So sorry about that, but stay tuned, and when we come back in the following week, we'll have some pretty interesting stories about some of our recent travel. That's it, so back to the show.
Did you get your GR4 yet?
I have not, but I do have an update about that. So I pre-ordered it on August 23rd.
And then you canceled
3 days after it came out. The estimated ship date for mine was October 28th, which
is literally today.
If you were to look at your calendar, is today as we record. I got an email this morning from B&H saying that it's still back ordered. So I guess that date was just totally made up.
Lol.
Yep. And then I looked online just to see, like, are other people getting their pre-orders, and I saw that Camera Canada has them. Which, if you've
are you doing the thing that you did with the X-H2S?
If you've heard of Camera Canada, it's because that's the store that Gerald works with to get like his pre-release cameras.
Yeah.
It's a pretty well-known store.
Uh-huh.
So I looked into that some. And funny thing is, it's cheaper to buy it from there.
Oh my gosh!
Like even with shipping, there's no like import duties. You don't pay tax, so like it's cheaper than Paybu with B&H. And so canceled my B&H order.
Yep, that sounds
ordered
right.
a GR4 from Camera Canada. It has already shipped, and it will be here tomorrow.
People can't hear the face that I'm making at you right now. This keeps happening to you.
I know.
It's literally the XH2S store. I like ordered mine before you, and you bought 2 of them.
And got both of them before you did.
Yes.
Yep. So you also put on this topic, how is the GR3? I don't know if we ever mentioned that on here, but I have a GR3X that I bought previously.
No one knows how we got that one either.
Yep. Nobody knows. And I kind of wanted to try, because I wanted to like try out the form factor, and I was also curious about the difference in focal length. It's the GR3X is like a 40 millimeter equivalent, and the GR4 is a 28 millimeter equivalent. So I've had the GR3X for, I don't know, about a month at this point, I think. I've definitely gotten some use out of it. I feel like I haven't had too many situations like to take advantage of it, just in the sense that I haven't done a whole lot to actually like use it. So I still definitely need to use it more. Overall, I like it a lot. I do feel like the pictures have like a reasonably different look from smartphone pictures. Like they're not free of noise. I'd say it's like on the noisier side as far as the sensor, but the colors and stuff do look really good. And definitely if you zoom in, it's only like a 26 megapixel sensor. So, I mean, it's not the same as like a 40 megapixel, whatever, but, if you pixel peep, it looks much better than a smartphone camera. So those are all good things.
I was pretty impressed with the colors and the photos coming out of it. I would say anything that was over, like 3200, maybe 6400 ISO was very noisy.
Yeah. But yeah, the colors look pretty good. And I've barely messed with the, like the profiles. I mean, it's just, I'm almost just using it, default. But controls are easy to use. All that's great. Like the size is awesome. It does legitimately feel. So like I have the Lumix S9, which was kind of like my previous travel camera setup. And I mean, the size of the GR3X is like just definitely in a different class in the sense like I can literally put it in my pocket.
Oh, it's unbelievably small. I mean, that's not a surprise to anybody, but also it's unbelievably small.
I like those koozies, like what you put around like a beer can or a Coke can.
Sure.
I discovered that's like the perfect size to just like you can slide it into that, and it gives you a little bit of padding. So a lot of times if I'm putting it in my pocket, I'll put it in one of those.
You're ridiculous.
But like you can't do that with the S9. Like it's too big to fit in a pocket.
No, you would need multiple koozies.
Yeah, multiple koozies. And being able to put it in your pocket, for me at least, it makes me way more likely to take it places. So
Definitely.
That's been really good.
I think the breakover of a pocketable camera is not to be dismissed. As far as, are you going to bring it with you or are you not? The GR3 that you have is the 27 millimeter lens? Question mark? 23?
Yeah, 27 in APS-C.
And then the GR4 is an 18.3 millimeter lens.
Right.
And one of the reasons you bought both was so that you could suss out if you wanted the wider or tighter lens focal length, and whether or not the GR4 is going to be substantially better enough that you may accept the wider focal length.
Exactly. And they did announce very recently that they're making what did they say? They're making a GR4 HDF.
Sure.
And a GR4 monochrome, which is interesting.
Oh.
They didn't announce a GR4X, and people think it's because it's probably easier for them to make these versions than it is to make a new lens.
Yeah, you just got to swap out that.
Yeah.
Filter thing.
The filter, yeah.
Because it has a ND by default,
That's
right?
Yeah. So, I'm curious to see it. I think that, what's going to be hard is that I could imagine wanting the different focal lengths in different situations. Because I feel like, if I'm at a party or something and I want to get like close-ups of people, it seems like maybe having the tighter lens is good. But I've had multiple times since getting that camera where I was taking a picture and I actually wanted it to be wider than it was. So that makes me think I may actually like the wider lens better, because if I'm with people to where like I'm not being like photographer at the event, candid shots, stay out of the way, that's where like longer lens seems good. But if I'm with people and let me just like, this person's going to see me, I'm standing right in front of them, but I want to snap a shot, the wider lens seems like it's better for that. So I don't know. I think I'm not sure yet which one's going to be better, but I'm really curious to try the wider lens, because I could, surprisingly, I could see that being more what I want.
I can't believe you're going to force me to buy one of these things off of you after you get them.
Yep, that's what. Yeah, I'm probably not going to keep them both long term. And see which one I like better. And
I just wanted to imagine having one. I never actually wanted to buy one. We don't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
And now here we are. Daniel's like, well, Lucas, I have two.
Yep.
And I really need to sell one. And, maybe you should buy it.
I think that this camera has the same interesting difference that we talked about recently with the Osmo Pocket versus a phone, where again, it's just a very different feeling holding that up to take a picture. Like socially, it's a different feeling doing that versus holding your phone up. Like to me, it feels really kind of like invasive, I guess, to like hold my phone up right in front of somebody and take their picture. I mean, I'm not talking about a selfie. A selfie is different, but like that just feels weird to me to do that.
Does it?
Whereas with a regular camera, it just, I don't know, it just feels more, I think it comes down to like, what are you doing with that photo? Because if I see somebody taking a picture with their phone,
I'm slamming them on social media, man. I'm just like,
exactly.
I'll start recording them.
Yeah. I feel like if you see somebody with their phone, you're like, that's probably on Instagram like 6 seconds after that picture was taken. Whereas with a regular camera, I don't know, it doesn't feel like that's as likely to happen. Like maybe that's just me that feels that way, but I've always kind of had that impression. So I feel less awkward taking pictures of people with a real camera.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I mostly understand what you're saying at me.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know. We'll see. I should get it soon, so we'll see what happens.
I have a question for you. And I'm wondering if I should keep talking about the GR subject first. So, okay, you get the GR4, you shoot with that one. Right now, do you have a feeling that you're going to go one way or the other?
I feel like I'm more likely to go with the GR4 because I think it's a better camera anyway. Like with autofocus being faster, it has some different photo modes that I think are like color modes, that I think might be good. And I think that the wide lens may actually be more of what I would want out of this type of camera, but I just really don't know until I use both. It's kind of hard to get a feeling for the focal length difference. Maybe I'll have to dual wield them for a while.
Maybe. Okay. I do want to get an update on the S1 too, but I just realized I have another question for you. Okay. So Daniel, hurry up and give me an update on the S1 too. We all know you haven't shot anything with it.
All right. Haven't shot anything with it. No, I mean, I've taken some event photos. We've done a couple of video shoots with it. Still really happy with it. I'm in a weird spot right now with it though, because I still have the XH2S, and when we do our videos, I'm still using the XH2S like as my primary, I guess, because of the color matching.
Yep, because it shoots 422 10-bit in open gate.
Whatever. That's not why.
You just can't.
That is not why. I think I need to transition my V-mount battery rig and stuff to use for the S1 because that's what I really want to do. And right now I'm in this weird in between. I only have one lens for the XH2S, the 30mm prime. And so you bring lenses when we do the film shoots.
Yep.
And I feel like I'm kind of like stuck between the worlds right now, but
I think you just do it. Just like YOLO, go for it. See what happens.
Probably should.
I have done now 2 color grades where I'm mixing the S1 footage and the 2 XH2S footages. And the first time I did it myself, and the second time I used Gerald's LUTs that are supposed to be matchy-matchy. And not to slam Gerald's LUTs, but they still don't match.
Not completely matchy-matchy.
They're not matchy-matchy. Even still, there is a slight tint difference, like maybe a little more magenta in the skin tones comparatively.
Yeah, I mean, we know that Fuji, runs green, definitely compared to Lumix. So it kind of makes sense that you would see, a little more magenta.
And it's not the 422 10-bit thing, because we've been shooting in like 17:9, whatever, DCI 4K on the S1 too. So we're getting 422 10-bit. So it's not really that as the problem. It is like the skin tones just look slightly different.
Yeah.
And it's been challenging to match it. And even with like the color board matched charts that Gerald put together, still not quite there. I'm just gonna have to like do it myself until I'm happy with it. And I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I know that we had a conversation before about like, we should be white balancing to a gray card instead of setting white balance to 5600K to match the lights, and the angles make things a little different. But we had one of the XS2S and the S1 pretty much on the same angle for this shoot. And
so that should not have been a problem.
I white balanced to my gray card ahead of the LUT and made sure that those were pretty close, or as close as I could get them, and then ran it through the LUTs. And it's still like, it's a tint difference, but even when I just adjust the tint, it doesn't get me there.
The only thing we're not doing that we could still do is shoot it in ProRes RAW.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know if it's X-Trans or if it's just that Fuji's that much better than everything else or what. But so it's been a challenge. I don't think anyone's really going to notice.
Yeah.
But
it does leave us in a weird spot for these videos because, it makes it seem like I just need to keep the XH2S until you are ready to move on.
Just add it to the list of cameras you have to sell me.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I mean, if we get the Pixis, then then we're kind of in a different world in terms of matching stuff anyway. So, I feel like that could be the transition point, but we're not there yet. So.
Yeah, not quite there yet. All right, Daniel. We haven't even gotten any other real topics. This is going. Yeah,
I'm loving
fantastic.
This. It's great.
So, as previously mentioned, I have this trip coming up, and I was talking to my dad, and I was like, how many cameras should I bring?
Well, did he think anything more than one was just like an outlandish question?
Not necessarily, but I was like, I don't know if I should bring more than 3 or less than 3. And he's like, well, I'm only going to bring one because I only have one camera, because he just has the Z6 Mark III. And I was like, well, you know, like, I don't necessarily think I need to bring 2 digital cameras. Like, I'll probably just bring the X-T5. I won't bring the XH2S.
I would think that'd be the right call. I can't imagine what you would use the XH2S for.
Speed, baby.
No,
Pew, pew, pew,
you
pew.
don't need that.
No, I don't. Anyway, but then I was like, you know, I just don't know which or how many film cameras to bring.
Yeah.
And then I suggested, what if I brought him a film camera and brought him a roll of film so he could shoot a roll of film while we were out there?
Man.
And now he was like,
what do you think of that idea?
He was kind of like, he thought about it. And he was like, well, like, yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to pick a film camera and I'm going to bring a film camera with me for you to shoot. And so that's what I'm doing. And this is the point. What film camera should I bring my dad?
Oh man, that's such a good idea.
Okay. So,
well, first off, what are you wanting to shoot for yourself? Because I think that's going to cut one out of the list, right?
I really have no idea. I'm just going to pick one, right? Okay. I would love to shoot on my Audible Tele Zoom, but I also don't want it to get wet. I love the Pentax 17. I feel like that's the perfect snapshot camera to bring with me, and I think that's what I want to shoot with is just do snapshots. Yeah. On the 17 and then use the X-T5 for all my real stuff. Sure, and that would be a pretty good delineation because then I can just wear the 17 around my neck.
I think that's a good idea.
So for him, I have his film camera.
Yeah, you do.
His Canon AE1. And I mean, like, I don't know if him shooting on that was going to be nostalgic for him.
I mean, it could be. Have you ever seen when like they get like one of those old like World War II or Vietnam vets to shoot like, like their rifle from like when they were in the war? I mean, it's just like they just get like this look of joy on their face and they're still like, super good at it. And it's just like, it brings them right back. Like in a good way.
Yeah. Well,
and
that could go
really go either way.
Yeah, really could.
And I could just see that happening with that AE1 where like you hand that to him and it's just like,
it's now 1983 again.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Can you imagine?
So that could be interesting. The second camera I have is his dad's Minolta. And so I'm like,
oh man. I wasn't considering this.
Maybe
you got some extra
what do you want to shoot with his dad's film camera?
Oh.
Maybe he hates his dad's film camera. It just wasn't like his speed. He liked the Canon. I don't know.
Could be.
Okay. And then I have my Minolta Hymatic AF2, which is kind of a tricky camera to shoot. It's like a little tough. Yeah. The autofocus is kind of wonky.
It took you a while to learn that one.
Yeah, so like I kind of don't want to do that one. I have the Pentax 17, but we talked about that. I just want to shoot on the Pentax 17. Though maybe he would have fun. I don't think he would shoot enough. My dad's a real like wait for it.
Decisive moment.
He is very much a decisive moment photographer. He's going to take one picture with 7 times bracket exposure, and then he's going to do the most insane HDR composition you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm really leaning AE1 on this.
Okay, I have the Olympus pen camera that I bought in Japan.
That's not, don't even consider.
And then obviously there's the Autoboy Tele Zoom.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking AE1 first choice, Minolta second choice.
But it's not clever. Like it's not like something new.
Do you think your dad, does he normally like new things? Is that
I don't think he would want to shoot on the Autoboy Tele Zoom, but making him shoot on it would bring me joy.
All right, but like how upset are you going to be when he drops that in the Caddo swamp?
Very.
That's the problem I see.
Horribly upset.
Yeah. The advantage to the
I wouldn't recover.
The advantage to the other ones is that maybe for you, maybe slightly less sentimental value. I don't know.
Having his old AE1
is true.
I still need to get that thing serviced. Anyways, so that's what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think that's my vote. I'm curious what you'll decide.
I was trying to think if I had any other film cameras that I forgot about.
It's entirely possible.
I mean, I know I only have 6.
Yeah, only 6.
But I feel like I have more.
In your heart, you have more.
Yeah, that's what it is. I should have planned it farther out and be bringing him a 3D printed medium format camera.
That would be too much. It'd be wild.
It would have been hilarious. Yep. I still want like a 645 or a 6.7.
Yeah, we're gonna have to work on that at some point.
Speaking of, Jeff Bridges announced at the International Association of Panoramic Photography convention,
which you follow very closely.
Daniel, did you know this was the 44th annual International Association of Panoramic Photography convention?
Of course, I didn't even know that this convention existed. So a lot of learning going on.
Did you know that there is an international association specifically for panoramic photography?
Man, that's You know, it's a pretty wide audience.
Wow. Wow.
You just wish you'd come up with that.
It's very good. Well, thank you for listening. Anyway, so you may be familiar with the Widelux, made famous by people such as Senor Jeff Bridges.
That would be a no.
Or
I'm not familiar.
Peter McKinnon, who has become very obsessed with this camera and has made many video on it on his channel.
He's really gotten into film. Very much so.
I get it.
Yeah, you're right there with him.
I totally get it, man.
You're wearing the same skinny jeans, and I mean, not the same ones. You each have your own. You know, and
I'm not
weird like cowboy aesthetic and film cameras.
All that stuff.
All exactly the same. You and Peter.
No,
Two peas in a pod.
me and Peter. Yep, exactly. Except he's Canadian.
That's true.
Anyways,
I bet he has a GR4.
The original Widelux factory, or however you call it, burned down whatever in like 2000 something.
Wow.
And so there has been like, you can't get any parts, and the amount of Wideluxes that were produced is starting to dwindle. I'm sure it was like 20,000 all those years ago.
Yeah.
And there are people, specifically Jeff Bridges, who are passionate enough about this thing that they have started this company called like Silver Bridges or something, and they are coming out with a new Widelux.
Bringing it back.
Yeah. And that's what they announced at the International Association of Panoramic Photographers Convention, the 44th annual.
Interesting. So, like, what's do you have any idea what the timeline is?
Probably sometime next year, I would expect, hopefully.
Okay. So
but,
it's not yet, but maybe, not like super far out.
Yeah. So their plan here is to basically kind of like mimic the original, right? They want to build it in Germany because the last time one was a German camera. They want to make it a German camera. They're going to keep the same focal length, which was this 26 millimeter swing lens.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Have you not seen these things, Daniel? They're insane.
I don't think I have.
Daniel, do I have to describe a Widelux to you? Our audience is going to glaze over because they all know what this is.
I don't think they know what it is.
So this is a camera, and imagine like the center of it where the lens would normally be. Imagine like a Coke can, not that tall, but like a cylinder shape. And then you have a lens, like a cutout in the middle. And it with a cutout would start like facing at if you imagine a clock, like at the, I don't know, 10 o'clock position, or like 9:30, 10 o'clock position for the hour hand. And then it would pan from 10 o'clock to like 2 o'clock.
Okay, so let me try and visualize this. Tell me if I'm right. So like it is not like I'm looking at a clock on the wall and the hour hand is swinging around. It doesn't move in that direction. You mean more like if I had a flashlight in my hand and I started like pointing off to my left and kind of like twisted my body to the right. You mean like the slit kind of moves like that?
The cylinder piece literally rotates around the Z-axis.
Okay.
And as it rotates, it exposes the film.
And so this is a way of getting like a panoramic shot that's like wider than you could get with a normal lens.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so you have to hold this thing perfectly level. And if you don't, it gets weird. And you have to hold it with like your hands right on the edges with two hands so that you don't get your fingers in it. And you have to hold it super still because it has 3 shutter speeds, 1/250, 1/125, or 1/15.
And what does that mean? Like is that the entire picture gets taken in 1/250th of a second?
Right.
Man, that slit's like whipping around then.
Well,
that's
I mean,
fast.
I think it's like the good point. But it takes like, it goes like,
because I'm trying to figure out like how fast how long you have to hold it still,
1/4 of a second.
Okay.
But just still like, or maybe 1/15th of a second, right? Depends on what shutter speed you're shooting at. But you get basically 126 degree field of view. I don't know what equivalent that is as far as focal length. 126 degree field of view. And it takes 24 by 59 millimeter photos.
Interesting.
So it's basically a double exposure or double width of a 35 millimeter film.
Sure.
So like on a 36 roll, you'd get maybe 18 shots or something like that.
It's like the opposite of a half frame camera.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like twice as wide. And it's just very obscure and unique. And normally it's for landscapes. And Mr. Bridges likes to shoot candids with it. And so there's a lot
of... perfect for somebody like you, you're so tall, just hold it sideways and then...
Amazing, yes. So, but there's a lot of famous photos that he's shot with this thing, and he's like very famous for having used this camera. And now Peter McKinnon's like in love with it, and also has like 3 Wideluxes. And so it's kind of a big deal that they're coming out with a new one, another one, and it's going to be very much the same, like 4 f-stops, 2.8, f4, 5.6, 8 or 11, 3 shutter speeds, very much like a point and shoot, fixed focus camera. But yeah, it's real,
so this
real
thing
interesting.
sounds like really bespoke, and it makes me think it's going to be mega expensive.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they just announced the development. Like they haven't said.
I wonder.
It's
I'm
gonna
just
be
curious,
this
like
many
how many they're
dollars.
going to make. Like, is this we're making 25 of these, or is this like a new? There's going to be a new product now, and you'll be able to buy it at B&H. And I'm curious, like where it's going to fall in that.
I can't imagine how wide the market is.
There can't be that many, right? There can't be that many people wanting to buy this.
Who knows, man? Who knows? eBay.com, and then we're gonna look up a Widelux right now.
Do you think, like, let's say this was under $500?
There's 2 X's in Widelux,
interested
isn't there? Widelux F7, $1,800.
Oh, geez.
Top mint Panon Widelux F7, $2,500 from Japan.
Okay, so they're pretty expensive. At least
Yeah, so you're gonna be spending. I mean, maybe that's what it is. Like the equivalent of an F7 is a $2,500 camera.
If you could get it for $500, would you be interested?
Oh yeah,
So you're like that level of interested, but probably not $2,500.
I'm not $2,500 interested. I'm maybe even $1,000 interested. But if the next film camera I want to buy is a medium format camera, or another point and shoot, like 7 more point and shoots, and then also medium format.
Okay, so you're more interested in those than in the Widelux.
I mean,
you're not disinterested.
I would love to eventually have a Widelux. That would be awesome. Very much like the front of it looks like the Batman of cameras, and so I'd be really, really into it.
Yeah,
but it's not necessarily something I would want.
That's the kind of thing that I'm not really interested in film cameras, but that's the kind of thing that I would probably want to collect if I was into it. Just because I'm kind of that way with watches, where I like stuff that's a little unique. It's like once you cover the bases, where you have like a good point and shoot, you have a higher end camera or whatever. It's like really like how much, like what are you really getting different in anything else? And so I do think that stuff like that is fun, where it's just like a weird, quirky thing where people are going to see it and be like, what's that? And you get something like a truly different experience using it.
Yeah. What I want is the experience of shooting on like a 6/7 medium format exposure in like a color positive portafilm or something, and being able to like hold it up to the light and see the photo. And it's like huge because it's 6 centimeters by 7 centimeters. I can just like look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all you need to do is find the right 3D print and we can make it happen.
I found like so many options. I just need
We
put it on the list, right?
We just need to try one,
Just
and
put it
then
on the list.
if you like it, then you can go and buy an actual medium format camera.
I know that I would like it. I
know you would too.
I just want it.
Yep.
I want it, Daniel.
Just want it.
One day.
Christmas
is coming up.
right around the corner.
You know what the Christmas means?
What does it mean?
Camera of the year.
Oh man,
We got to start playing it,
we
Daniel.
do.
There's
We honestly do.
4 episodes that we got to start doing, and it's pretty much like we're going to record those any day now.
you're right.
You got it. You better start thinking about camera of the year.
Oh, I've been thinking about it. Believe me. I think there's some. This isn't the time to get into it, but this has been a pretty big year for cameras.
I already know what cameras I'm going to pick.
Man, you're already ready. You could just do that episode
I can do it right now. Right now. Spoiler alert. It's not a Panasonic camera.
It wasn't until that Chromosome sampling thing.
Scandals out.
Yeah, well, something to look forward to on that. But yeah,
Maybe this next camera we're going to talk about is camera of the year.
you think so?
Maybe.
All right, let's take a break, then we'll get into that. We'll be back in just a moment, but we wanted to let you know that if you'd like to support the show, you can now subscribe to us on Patreon. It helps cover our hosting costs so we can keep the show running, and you might find an occasional behind-the-scenes post on there, like some photos we've taken recently or a mini review of some new gear. If you're interested, you can find us at patreon.com/cameragearpodcast.
I don't understand why they keep releasing this camera.
Yeah, that's my question.
I understand.
What's going on?
I understand why they released the camera. I just don't understand why they called it the X-T30 Mark III.
I know.
Not the X-T33, the X-T30-3.
So should we, very quickly run through? There was an original X-T30 that came out at the same time, I believe, as the X-T3, and kind of like fit the whole Fuji theme, where we've got all these cameras that have the same sensor, in different form factors. Then time went on. XT4 and etc. came out. They had some sort of like production part availability issue, and so they released an XT30 Mark II that was the same as the XT30 but with like a slightly better screen. And then they came out with the XT50 more recently, which was kind of a return to form, right? Of like this kind of matches the XT5, like uses the new processor and all that. And so, yeah, why is there now an XT30 Mark III?
Daniel, you missed all the color.
Did I?
There's so much more to that.
No, tell me more.
Like back in like circa 2017, 2018, coming up, there was the XT100, XT10, XT1.
Right.
And that's how they designated their smaller to larger and more fancy pants cameras.
Yeah. Same way Canon does, where like the smaller the number, the better the camera.
Right. And their XS line has been their, is kind of a newer one. They started that one with the XS10, and the XH line, of course, for their video focus. But the XT120, 110, and 1 were kind of like those original. And they did 20s. They did the 200, the 20, and the 2.
Right.
And then with the 3, they dropped the 100 line because they weren't selling enough. They also dropped a lot of their other lines. Mm-hmm. And they came out with the XT30. And that was like you said, they're putting the same sensor processor combo in everything.
Yeah. It was so cool because it was like you had the XT30, the XE3, the XT3. Mm-hmm. I don't remember if there are any others, but like you could pick what form factor and controls you wanted and get the same X Pro 3 and get the same sensor, like same core capabilities.
Right. And we were all wondering when the XT40 was going to come out, and they never released an XT40. Mm-hmm. And then when they came out with the XT50, they once again this generation have split the sensors because of the cost.
Right.
The stacked sensor is too expensive to put into anything except for the XH2S. The 40 megapixel with the X-Trans 5 40 megapixel with the X5 processor, it seems to also be too expensive. And anything that has that in it, which is your XE5 now, your XT50 and your XT5 and your XH2 are all over $1,500, $1,700. And so they like basically didn't have the equivalent of an XT30 in a small form factor. And I know you're going to say, Lucas, they have an XS20 and they have an XM5.
Yep.
One of those is like $800 and one of those is $1,200. What do you mean they don't have a cheap version of this camera? Mm-hmm. And the answer is that like the XS20 is a DSLR style camera with a PCM dial. It's a PCM style camera. And the XM5 doesn't have an EVF.
Yep.
And so now there's no, like, Fuji's got to service every version of the market. And so they're like, well, we have to come out with another version of XT30 that is that $1,000 price point. So we are going to put the same, it's basically exactly the same as an XS20. Has the 24 megapixel or 26.4 megapixel sensor from the XT4 in it.
Non-stacked.
The non-stacked 26 whatever megapixel sensor from the X-Trans 4 generation that they are now pairing with the X5 processor. And that is what's in the XM5 and the XS20. So it's that package, not the 40 megapixel package and not the stacked package, but the cheaper in quote unquote package. But
Fuji is so good at parts bin cameras.
This could have been an XT500.
Yeah, good point.
Why make it an XT30 Mark III? Mm-hmm. Is there really that much brand equity in XT30? It makes it seem like it's an old camera. It's like, I get XT33 or an XT30. And it's like, well, the XT3 came out in 2018, 2017. When did the XT30 Mark III come out? 2025.
They should really stop doing that because, I mean, plenty of brands do the new one, like R6, R6 Mark II, R6 Mark III, like that's all fine. Nikon does it too. But with Fuji, they've always done this, we moved to the, XT30, XT40, like that, that feels like the way they name cameras. And there are people that are going to be, somebody said the XT30 is good. They go and look, they find an XT30 Mark I and it's way cheaper than the Mark III. And they're like, let's get that one.
Maybe they should. I don't think there's that much different about it except for the sensor. And I don't like, some people may prefer the X-Trans 3 sensor over the X-Trans 4 sensor. I don't know. The main thing is going to be the autofocus. That's quite a bit different. Mm-hmm. But this is like the same low-res screen that's in the X-T30 Mark
No
II.
way. They use that same screen?
Same screen.
That screen is so
same
bad.
EVF.
That EVF is bad too.
Same freaking battery.
Come on.
It's just the same. It is an XM5. It is an XS20. I even think it's still the old 126S batteries.
It's depressing that that is like $1,000 camera these days.
A little bit.
Like, I mean, considering the original X-T30 didn't even launch at $1,000, it's depressing that is a $1,000 camera these days.
I mean, like it's an XM5 with an EVF on it. I mean, it's only
when you
$200
think about it that
more.
way. I mean, I understand why they priced it there, but that's really unfortunate.
Name another camera that can shoot open gate 422 10-bit that costs $1,000. Go ahead, I'll wait.
Well, I can't say the S1 Mark II, can I?
Wouldn't be $1,000 either. I'm just saying, if you want 422 10-bit in open gate 6.2K, and you're going to shoot video for some reason with this camera that doesn't have a mic jack, has a mic jack, doesn't have a headphone jack, and you got to use the USB-C port, battery's going to last like 40 minutes. And this is it. This is it, right? I mean,
So
the next thing is an XH2
So you
at
can't do
$2,000.
can't do that with the XM5?
I guess you could do it with the XS20, probably, right?
They don't make the XS20 anymore.
The S20?
I think the XS20's been discontinued. I could be wrong.
No, that's the new one. You're making that up.
Maybe I am. I don't think I am, but I could be.
You're making it up.
Is the XM5 not open gate?
Open gate? Question mark?
Chat GPT, open gate.
I honestly can't remember. Yeah, I think the XM5 does. So you actually can get it a little cheaper. Maybe the XM5. But yeah, that's the short of it. Is it's literally just an X-T30 Mark II, but with the new processor and the new autofocus modes and way better video.
Do you think that they released, what was the real reason they released this? Was it that they wanted to have a new camera at this price point, or was it the same as the X-T30 Mark II, where they finally ran out of old X-Trans 3 sensors, but they still wanted to, keep it alive? You think that's why they did it?
No, I think it's more than that, because I don't think the X-T30 had the film simulation dial.
No, that's pretty new. That was a very new feature.
This is very much an X-T50 design, not an X-T30 design.
Is the body kind of similar to the X-T50? Because I think they had kind of smoothed out some of the edges.
It's very much an X-T50, not an X-T30.
Okay. It's still confused on the name then.
I think it's just that a lot of people loved that camera for the size and the compactness and the features
and
the price. And I think that they know that they're missing some of their market, because there's people who wanted another X-T30. They wanted an X-T50, but they don't want to pay for it.
Sure.
And the XM5 is not what they're looking for, and the XS20 is not what they're looking for.
I will say not having an EVF is kind of a bummer. Speaking as someone who has two digital cameras, they don't have EVFs. So I kind of get that because my first thought would be, why not get the XM5?
Right.
But I think especially for your average Fuji fan who wants to do photography with their camera, I can see how an EVF is nice. That said, the EVF on the X-T30 is not good. So
the EVF isn't good either.
I mean, it was fine.
It's $2.3 million. It's
fine.
Okay.
It's what I like to think of it as. You and I both used to have micro four thirds cameras, and I felt like the class of EVF from that to your X-T3 or my GH5 was a dramatic difference in terms of
yeah,
viewability.
for sure. But that was like $1.something million EVF.
And I mean, this is probably in between. So, if you're using a higher end mirrorless camera, and thinking about that EVF, it is not going to be that good. But yeah, I mean, it's acceptable.
I don't know if this is embarrassing or not, but I mean, the X-T50 has the same EVF.
Interesting.
I think it's just literally an X-T50, but with a different sensor. So
maybe
same EVF. I think the screen is still I don't know. You owned this camera, so I don't know how good the EVF was on it. You were the one who was shooting with it. I know that the back screen was always a problem.
Yeah, the back screen was terrible, but
And that's still the $1.6 million rear screen.
well, but they changed it from the X-T30 Mark 1 to Mark 2.
Oh, you had the Mark 1,
I had the
didn't you?
Mark 1, so maybe it's better.
So it could be a little better, but I think it's still basically the same screen. Yeah, so the rear screen is worse on the X-T30 compared to the X-T50. The X-T50 has a 1.8 million dot 3-inch screen, and the X-T30 Mark III is a 1.62 million dot. So slightly lower resolution rear screen and not as good of or lower resolution sensor. I don't want to say not as good.
I mean, we're kind of we're kind of down on this camera, but it sounds fine, honestly. I mean,
it's perfectly good.
I think it'd be a perfectly reasonable camera. I think in the context of Fuji's lineup, the price is not unreasonable. It's just disappointing that, prices have gotten so out of control that this is $1,000 camera now. Cause I feel like this shouldn't cost $1,000, but I mean, if you're looking for a camera and like you want something with the more manual controls and you like Fuji, like I think it's probably reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, what else is in this price point?
Well, the XM5 for sure.
Sure, the XM5. But if you're looking for something that has like acceptable autofocus, or this is a full featured camera. It's in between in so much that the X-T30 has always had some of like the auto modes where you could just hit one button and go full auto, so you don't have to deal with all the modes. But they move for some of these cameras, they're starting to move that with the film simulation dial on the top. So it is more appealing to people who are less like camera nerd or more entry level, but it still has available to you the ability to do all the full featured stuff. Like you can do most everything that you can do with an X-T5.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah. I mean, getting 6.2 open gate, like that's, if you're shooting video, that's pretty good at $1,000.
Right. Yeah. So like it has the video specs. It can do most of the photo stuff. For $1,000, this is still a pretty complete camera package.
Yeah.
Comparatively. And I don't quite know what else you could get in the market. I mean, a Canon R50 is $600.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's necessarily an equivalent to this. It's probably very similar. But other than that, I mean, Nikon doesn't have anything at this price point. Sony's closest thing they have is the 6700, but that's $1,400.
Well, Sony has like the ZV-1, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't have an EVF. It's not really a photo focused camera. It's more of a video focused camera. Yeah. The closest photo focused camera that's not like a 6400 from 1,000 years ago is the 6700. I think.
Which is like 13 or 1400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
maybe it's competitively priced
within this $1,000 price point. I think this may be the best thing in the market, and because of that, Fuji's like, we can charge $1,000. Yeah. And also like the cameras have gotten expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense that this is a little more expensive than the XM5.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, it's an XM5 with an EVF on it, right?
Yeah. And like I don't know if the XM5 had the film simulation dial, but
yeah, it did. I think that might was like one of the first ones that brought it.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, even just EVF is a reasonable, justification for it to be a little more expensive.
Right. I'm trying to look on B&H for mirrorless cameras that are less than $1,000. Canon still sells the RP with a webcam and starter kit. Interesting.
Weird.
ZFC on sale for $1,096.
That would be a good competition.
With a 16-50. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah. That would be a very interesting comparison.
Yeah.
I would strongly consider a ZFC, even though that is maybe a slightly older lens. Yeah, on sale, you can get that for $50 less. So a ZFC is pretty much a dead-on comparison, and I would say that would be a fairly hard decision to decide between the two. Sure, the ZFC is like 3 or 4 years old at this point, but I mean other than the processor, everything on the X-T30 Mark III is that old too. So I think that would be a pretty good comparison.
Interesting.
Give you a chance to grow into a Nikon system too. Other than that, there's the Z30.
I assume that's Nikon.
But that one's pretty old. They came out with that Z50 Mark II, didn't they? That was like this year.
Yeah, that does sound familiar. We probably talked about it on the show.
Mm-hmm. We almost certainly talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. So yeah, there's the Z50 Mark II, which I think is also maybe roughly $1,000, almost like dead on $1,000, and that may be a better camera.
Yeah.
A better camera choice. If you're looking for a PSAM solution that's APS-C, but still like decent, maybe the Z50 Mark II is a slightly better buy.
It really it always feels to me like with Fuji, there's like this, wait for it, X factor.
Heyo, come on. Really bringing it today, Daniel.
I know, right?
I'm super proud of you.
Because, I mean, you're getting the film simulations, which I think that is appealing for a lot of people, that you kind of get like a unique, color approach compared to most of the other brands. And I feel like it's like that. And then just the way you interact with those, with Fuji cameras is different, especially one like this. You have some more dials. And the lenses. I think that if you feel like you're going to be happy staying with APS-C, and maybe you're not planning on, buying a bunch of other cameras, like you kind of feel like you're just going to stick with the one. I mean, we've talked about this so many times, but Fuji really offers you a lot with lenses in terms of everything you get is going to be a little bit smaller and probably a little bit cheaper than what you can get from other brands, like for a high quality lens. And I mean, if you're thinking about like whole system, I think those are some pretty good reasons why you would consider the Fuji over something like a Z30 or Z50, even if those cameras are, technically better in some way.
There's another camera that came out this year that would make that list that we haven't really talked about, which is the OM System OM5.
We mentioned this in the last episode. I just can't believe we haven't talked about that.
Boy, I don't care about that camera. Do not care about that camera. Yeah, I think that it's maybe a matter of what lenses are you going to get, how expensive are they going to be, and where do you want to grow the system out? Whereas, which would be like a Z50 Mark II, and then the Fuji is more like a lifestyle camera.
Yeah, I mean,
coming from like a Fuji shooter, that's just what a shoot.
I mean, the reason I mentioned the lens thing is because I think if you feel like you want to buy this camera, and then you're going to have your more professional full frame camera, then get the Nikon. Like, get something where you can, kind of grow into a bigger system. But if you feel like you're going to be happy staying with APS-C, especially if you think you wouldn't buy another camera, but even if you did, if you did go more professional and you feel like you'd still be happy with APS-C, Fuji just is like unmatched in the set of APS-C lenses they offer and like the quality for price that you get in that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a big Fuji fan. So
yeah, nobody knows that. I'm glad you clarified that for us.
You're welcome. I guess good release, bad name. Wish they put a different battery in it.
The name has baggage. Like that's why they shouldn't have used it. I think it makes it feel old.
It seems like they feel the opposite. They think that the name has equity.
Apparently, and yeah, they shouldn't use that battery. I mean,
one person's equity is one person's baggage.
Oh, that was deep,
wasn't it? Wasn't it, Daniel? I don't know, man. I think the main point here is that this $1,000 camera has 6.2K open gate 422, and your $3,200 camera doesn't.
You're never gonna stop mentioning that, are you?
Therefore, this is a better camera.
I don't know about that. I just don't know about that.
Probably shoots better photos.
You think so?
Yeah, they're basically the same resolution.
I think the EVF on mine's a little better.
Maybe.
Yeah. Noise performance.
Maybe. Yeah. Debatable. Well, let me explain to you X-Trans, Daniel. Anyway, they also released a new lens, but do we even have time to talk about it? Do you care about this at all?
Let's just like quickly, let's give it a short run through.
Sure. Okay. They also released, which is basically the smallest zoom for X mount, and the first XC lens that they've released in a really, really long time.
I haven't heard about those in a while. There's like plastic, right?
I thought they abandoned the XC line. They had their XF lenses, they had their XF red badged lenses, and then their XC lenses. And the XC were like the cheap plasticky ones that shipped with, the A series cameras.
Okay.
One, I guess that tells you what market this is for. But this is an XC 13 to 33, 3.5 to 5.6.
Pretty interesting range there for sure.
I like that range. That's a nice wide to a decent everyday focal length.
Yeah.
Really, really nice range for APS-C. 3.5 to 5.6 is maybe leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's super compact. This thing's like 2.19 inches long extended, and it's 125 grams.
And I see 39 millimeter filter, which tells you that it's pretty small.
Yeah, it weighs nothing. It's got like 10 elements in it, and you can get it for $150 on top of the cost of the camera, or $400 as standalone lens.
Okay.
So like it seems like a fine kit lens. It's definitely a kit lens.
Yeah.
I remember the days whenever they shipped the 18-55 2.8 to f4 as a $300 add-on kit lens. Like those were the days.
That was a really good lens.
That lens is still really good.
Yeah.
The one that they replaced it with, which I think is like a 16-50 or 18-50 or something, 2.8 to 4.5 or something.
Yeah.
Different. And now they have another kit option. So I don't know how much there was a demand for this, but it is nice to have an even smaller kit option for, this camera.
I think the price honestly is a big factor here. They probably needed something like this that could be included with a camera for pretty cheap. And that way if somebody's really budget conscious, they've got something you can buy.
Yeah, and you buy the whole set. I think it makes a lot of sense with the X-T30 Mark III.
Yeah, or an XM5.
Or an XM5, yeah. Actually, I don't think this would be really nice on an XM5. That XM5 is so small.
Yeah.
I don't think it's quite borderline pocketable like the GR pack.
Yeah, I mean, it still feels like it's in a different class that way, but we haven't seen reviews of this, or maybe you have, of this lens. I'm sure it doesn't look as good as the more pro ones, but they even if there's some compromise in image quality, they needed to have a lens like this. Something really small, really cheap, with the price being the main thing to me. Yeah.
So it's good. It's fine.
Cool. Is that available now? Do you know?
I think it's also coming soon, just like the camera.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm going to own this lens, Daniel.
No, I don't think it's for you. I have the 18-40 for L mount for my S9, and this to me like kind of sounds similar concept.
Very similar.
You're accepting some some compromise on the image quality for the size, and for a reasonably cheap lens.
Yeah.
So I can see like why somebody would buy it.
I mean, if I was compromising on the size, I would buy like the new 23 millimeter pancake or the old 27 millimeter pancake. And if I really wanted this lens, I would just buy the 33 1.4, which is a super good lens.
Yep. Yeah.
That's also a totally different compromise of
it sure is.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I mean, it seems like Fuji's trying to appeal to the lower end of the market, which probably good.
Good. More Fuji's always good.
More Fuji's always good.
Mo Fuji, mo better.
Yep. Any more thoughts on these things? Or?
No. Kill it.
That's it for the show today. Thanks for joining us, and if you liked it, tell a friend so they can check it out too. You can find out more about the show at www.cameragearpodcast.com, and you can find us on Twitter @CameraGearPod. We'll be back with more next week.